All right, I'm here with Uncle Ken. I mean, he needs no much introduction. One of the few Super Eagles players to have played in every age grade for the national team, under 17, under 20, and the Super Eagles as well. Over 60 caps for the national team. And I mean, he captained the Super Eagles in the last two games. Uncle Ken, good to have you on this platform.
It's
How are you
good,
feeling?
good to be here.
Like I said, I mean, you played in every age grade for the national team, under 17, under 20, including the Super Eagles, but you were left out of that Rio 2016 Olympic squad. Do you resent something sincere for that decision?
No, I wasn't left out. He actually tried his best, to make sure I make it to that competition. But I was between, signing a new contract and
Oh, okay.
moving, so I couldn't make it. Like he waited for me up to the very end, and well, the last two we haven't qualified
Yeah.
for, so I waited to see if we'll qualify so I can go and play, but it hasn't happened.
So it's safe to say you still want to,
I
play
still
at the
want
Olympics.
to. I still want to.
I mean, it's every player's dream, not just the World Cup, but you want to play, every competition possible for the national team. But let's move it away from there now. Let's talk about the last game you've played for the Super Eagles. The last two games you captained the side. Let's talk about that game against Sierra Leone. What was it like for you in that game? We were 2-0 up, and we threw away that two-goal lead. We were saved by that last goal from Kelechi Iheanacho. What was it like? With the players. That moment when Sierra Leone scored the equalizer for you on the pitch.
It was. I could see some players, got confused, like what was happening, and so the thing is with football, I know we, especially as Nigerians, we want to win every game, but we still need to understand the fact that if we drew that game, we're already through. You understand? So most times we get distracted from the actual football itself. We've worked hard. We've already, we were top of the group before this game. It's a good job.
Yeah.
But losing that game against Guinea at home, I think that put us in a place where, because Nigerians expect a lot from us, they expect us to win every game, especially if it's Guinea.
Yeah.
But looking at the stacks for that game, a draw would see us go through. But I knew we had to win that game because we knew the Sierra Leoneans were not going to give up easily. They were going to fight till the end because it has happened before
Yeah.
at home, So we had to, me also, I had to speak to the boys like, come on, let's keep your head in the game, When they want to rush to start, I'm like, calm down, They are the ones to be in a hurry, not us, because we have the chance to qualify. They need one more goal, and we're better than them, despite the issue with the pitch. We have a better team. We're better than them. So I think we kept our head and we got the win.
I mean, I was with Igalo a couple of days ago. He echoed the same thought. How your experience pulled through for the team. To calm the game down and all that. And it's good to see that we got the 3 points at the end of the day, and we've qualified for the next AFCON. Now, you talked about the Guinea-Bissau game. It takes me back to what you said post-match. That more like broke the internet when you said the current squad, quality-wise, is better than the AFCON winning squad in 2013, which you were part of.
Yes.
Is this something you still stand by? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Because it sparked different opinions online and all that.
I know. I saw a lot of.
Do you want to clarify that?
Yeah, what we had then was more heart, more fighting spirit. Because if you compare the players in that squad and the players now, right now in Africa, I think Nigeria has the most expensive national team.
Yeah.
So if you compare position-wise, position to position, you understand what I'm talking about. I think if this team blends and have that fighting spirit like we did before, they'll be unstoppable.
So quality-wise, you feel this current team is still better than the one they have gone. Okay, Kenneth, let's look at that 2013 AFCON winning squad and this current squad now in the attacking positions. Then in 2013 we had Emenike, we had Brownie Day and the likes. In this current squad, there's Osimhen, there's Chukwueze, there's Iheanacho. I mean, let's try and compare, both squads now in that attacking position. Who would you pick ahead of who?
Okay, I will pair Menike with Osimhen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pair Menike with Osimhen. So that attack, that's it for that attack. Wing, I think Musa was the winger there then,
Yeah.
and he's still in the squad now, so that's fine. On the left, who did we have on the left? Victor Moses.
Yeah, Victor Moses was there. There's certainly Ike Uche as well.
Yeah, there's Itoche. Victor Moses with Chukwueze.
Mm.
So I'll leave that to you to pick. Who would you pick?
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's go to the midfield now. I mean,
Yes.
there was Mikel, Onazi. I mean, two
Yeah.
very good midfielders. And the current midfield now.
Mikel definitely would be there. I don't know. Can I pick a table out of? Can I bring a table in?
Oh, you can. You can.
I will put a table in that midfield definitely, and put with Mikel, and Alex will be the one in front supporting.
Alex Iwobi, yeah.
Alex will be
Okay.
supporting the attack. My left back, Echejine.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
I think there's another Sinichejile there, and
Yeah.
Zaidu Sanusi now,
Yeah,
and all that.
Saidu will play my left back. And right back, who did we have?
Right back.
Right back was
I can't
Shehu.
really. Yeah.
I think it was Shehu.
Yeah. And the likes we have now, I know. Oshanua was
yeah,
left back.
Yeah. Oshanua was left back. Oshanua and Echejine. Yeah, I'll pick Saidu. Right back, I will bring Ola to the right back. Ola Aina would be my right back.
Then at the center of the defense, I mean, you're there. Obabuna
Yeah.
was there. And who we have now. I know it's a tough one,
Yeah,
but
you know the thing is with the squad then, we've played, well, not me because I just joined, but I think they've stayed longer together and they understood themselves better than now, because now we've been mixing. Sometimes it's Aina, sometimes like now it's Bright.
Yeah.
It was Shehu. That defense line. Sometimes it's the Oyibo wall.
Mhm.
It's been going. There has been a lot of changes in that defense, but for me, I think I'll stay with Obabuna and Aina on the right.
Okay, I mean, I think the goalkeeping position, we don't need to. I'm not sure there's any debate in that one.
Yeah.
So that sorts itself out. But I mean, good to
Yeah.
hear from you, because I mean, you're in both squads, and yeah, it's always good to hear from you. Now let's move away from the national team a bit. Now let's go back to your time at Chelsea. But first off, how did the Chelsea move happen? When did you get it? How did it happen? When did you get the information that Chelsea were coming? And just walk us through your thought process at the time.
Okay. It was when we went to the Under-20 World Cup. So we played a friendly match against Portugal in Portugal.
Okay.
So, and we got a red card in the first half of that game. So we're surprised because it was a friendly game. How come you're giving a red card? And we finished that game. I captained that game, and we finished 0-0.
Okay.
In that game, so it was a draw. And Coach Villa's boss from Chelsea, he was the coach of Chelsea then, he was in that game. And I think that was when the interest started. So for me, I went to the World Cup, we finished, I came back home, I was prepared to go back to Standard Liège, to continue. And these Nigerian guys kept calling and talking about Chelsea being interested in me, and I didn't even give it a listening ear because I thought maybe they were fraud or something. I never believed it. Like they were calling back to back. I would pick up the call, I would just throw it on the bed. My mom would ask me, "Who are these people calling you?" And they said Chelsea wants to sign me. And she said, "Which Chelsea?" So for us, it was unbelievable, and then I was a diehard Man United supporter. So it also made me, I didn't even want to listen to what they were saying until I went back to Standard Liège. So the promises they made, my contract was going to change when I turned 18. Nothing was happening. And then the Chelsea people still kept coming. They even sent a representative then,
Okay.
And that's when I started listening to them, and at the end it was real.
I mean, it's just sad to see that, at the end of the day, it didn't work out as you would want to. You were sent on loan, several times. But, you kept on, extending your contract. They kept on bringing contract to you, kept on extending. At that point, do you feel that you would get much playing time, despite the fact that they were offering you contract extension? Was there any point you were convinced that, okay, yes, I'm going to play for Chelsea?
Okay, so I was going to have the opportunity to play. The opportunity came once, but never came again. And that was after having a great season in Holland, other than Hague. I
Yeah.
went to the Nations Cup, won the Nations Cup, then Confederation Cup. So I already passed as a special talent for Chelsea. So I
Yeah.
got my work permit approved.
Okay.
So, but before then, I've been struggling with a shoulder injury. So my shoulder wasn't stable. Sometimes it goes off and comes back in. So I started from the Nigerian League when I was playing in Sunshine Stars. So, but throughout the Nations Cup, thank God it didn't happen. It never came out. But against Spain in the Confederation Cup, I only played 10 minutes. I fell down and the shoulder came out. So normally if it was in African football, or they just try to put it back, and shoulder, once it comes right in, you're fine. You can play.
Yeah.
But these guys, when it came out, is more professional, so they didn't want to put it back in. They needed me to approve. They needed time. They already subbed me. They've changed me from the game already. So by the time they put it back, then I think we lost that game, and then we were out of the Confederation Cup. So I went back to Chelsea. I was training, and then I had the same issue in training.
Yeah.
So the doctor examined it and was like, no way. And this was the period when the team already were in preseason. So I was supposed to go back with them with Victor Moses. Both of us were supposed to meet them in the preseason. But then because of that, the doctor said I have to do surgery, and I was out for 4 months. So that was when they now called Zuma back from.
Yeah.
So Zuma came back instead of me that period. And then after the surgery, the World Cup was around the corner. I had to play to be able to go to the World Cup, so I went on loan to Middlesbrough. And that was it. After that, to the World Cup, and it has just been loan, But for me, renewing was good. It kept me salary guaranteed.
Yeah.
I could go on loan and play. So the important thing for me was to play, because I wasn't one of those boys that grew up in the UK. Otherwise, I would be like, I would stay in the UK and play around. But I just wanted to play. So for me, it was amazing.
And during that time, it was Michael Emenalo was the sporting director at the time. What's he like? Especially the fact that he was also a former Nigerian international.
Yes.
What's Michael Emenalo like? Did you
I
get to speak
think
to him?
he's not someone that does my brother kind of thing.
Oh,
He's
okay.
strict with his job. I can count how many times I saw him, while I was there. So I think the first time I saw him was when he came to sign my Chelsea contract in Holland, in the Netherlands. And then when I went to Chelsea, we've had few meetings, but he's like, he's the same way with every player in Chelsea. He doesn't give you that like, this is my brother from the same. No, he's straight.
I mean, I love people like that. But I mean, good to see Nigerians doing well wherever they find themselves. Now, you went on several loan spells. I mean, Chelsea are known to loan so many players and all that. But you went on loan to the Netherlands, like you mentioned, other than Hague. You went to Turkey. You went to Spain. I mean, in all of this, before you settled at Leganes, which was your favorite loan spell? Where did you enjoy the most? Was it at Middlesbrough? Was it at Kasim Pasha? Was it at, just what's your favorite loan spell during this period?
I think it was Kasim Pasha. It was Kasim Pasha
Why
because
Kasim Pasha?
the fans were amazing. You know, in
Mm.
Turkey, they love football so much. And I was in an amazing city, Istanbul.
Yeah.
And also, I had the privilege to get married to my wife in Istanbul, playing in Kasim Pasha, you
You
know.
met your wife in Turkey, or
No,
you
no,
go?
no,
Oh,
no.
okay, okay.
I took her there and we did our wedding in Istanbul, and all my teammates, my coaches, everyone
All right, great.
was present. So I think, like, if I go back to my Instagram page and I go through pictures that I took playing in Kasim Pasha, you could see how happy I was, you know, compared to some other pictures around.
All right, that's that's great to hear. I mean, I didn't expect to hear that that would be your best loan spell, but it's good to hear from you. Tell us about your time at Middlesbrough, you know, getting late in the playoffs and, you know, the traffic situation and all that. Just walk us through that time. What's the situation like then?
Okay, so my first season in Middlesbrough, I think it was influenced by the fact that Jose Mourinho's friend and former assistant coach Aitor Karanka was the
Yeah.
manager of Middlesbrough. So when I went my first spell there, I didn't know they had a defender who was injured, Ayala. So he
Yeah.
was injured, but I didn't know. So I went and I was playing regularly. It was amazing. The fans loved me. You know, they were always on my page commenting, and we did an amazing job, but we didn't get to the playoffs that year because the manager came when they were already like down on the table, and then I went to the World Cup. The manager was always on to me, and then I had offered to go to QPR, and they were in the Premier League
Yeah.
then, but you know, Mourinho, Chelsea, they wanted me to help Middlesbrough kind of because of the manager and the relationship. So what was said was, um, Middlesbrough have the same, like similar pattern as
That's
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Yeah.
So we want you to go there for 1 more year, and after that you now join Chelsea. So I spoke with my agents then, and they were like, okay, since the goal at the end is to play for Chelsea, then why not do it? So, but this time around, when I went back, the defender who was injured was back,
That's Ayala. Yeah.
Ayala. And Ben Gibson is the chairman of the club's cousin,
Oh,
and
okay.
also a
Yeah.
centre back. So it became a situation where I would play one game in, one game out, one game in, one game out. And it was messing with my head because I was young. I wanted to play, you know,
Consistently.
consistently. So so then there was a game where I was put in and I was taken out like 50 something minutes because we were losing. So I lost my head and went out of the field.
Mm.
And then that was when my problem started with the coach. So he wasn't really playing me regularly anymore. That was it. He was putting me out of the team until the playoffs. So I was the only player who didn't dress. So I went to the camping before the playoffs, and then the day of the match, I was the only player that didn't dress for the game.
Not
You
that you were
know,
injured. It's just
no, I wasn't dressed for the game. And then, so instead of us leaving early to go to the match, I think that I don't know what they were thinking, you know, because that year, 100% we're supposed to beat Norwich to come to the Premier League, 100%. But then we took our time in the hotel, in the meeting, and when we were done, there was massive traffic in
mm.
Wembley. So this is us arriving. The other team were leaving to warm up.
And that's when your team is
That
arriving
was
basically.
when we were arriving. So we had to like quick hurry up, like rush out to warm up. It was already time, come back. Game started, we considered an early goal. And then it was 2-0. I think it ended 2-1. And that was how we lost that game.
Wow, interesting. I mean, is these things can happen anywhere. I mean, people try to, if this is happening in Nigeria, people will try to, hammer on it enough and all that. But, these things happen. Let's look at it now in Nigeria now from your camp in a hotel, going to the stadium, the whole traffic situation and all that. If you look at it, you can see that there's a bit of a similarities in it. But, let's take it back to Nigeria now. During your time at Sunshine Stars, how was it like, playing football in the Nigerian league at that time?
It was difficult.
By the way, Sunshine Stars, they were in the Super 6 playoff that was held recently in Lagos. But I mean, they were like more like the whipping boys of the championship. But what's it like, when you play for Sunshine Stars?
It was good. For me, it was my first experience in a club, in a professional club. I could remember the first day I went in, they dropped me off, and my roommates then was like, "Oh, let's go out to eat." And I'm thinking, we can just go out, like, we don't need to take permission from anyone, like, you can just leave, and they're like, yes, this is a professional club, you're responsible for yourself, because I was coming from national team where it's strict, you cannot go out, sometimes you cannot use your phone, stuff like that, because it was just after under 17 World Cup that I joined. So we didn't use our phones during the tournament. You cannot go out. Even with permission, it's hard for you to go out or go out alone. So they are letting us live like that. So for me, it was a new experience, and it was good. I played a lot of games with them. The only problem I had was traveling away match. Imagine going from Akure to Kanu, for example, and they're playing this loud music, Yoruba Fuji, on the bus, loud. And then now you don't, then with, where there were iPads, but it wasn't like affordable like now, it's not like you could put your headphones and block your ear, watch a movie or something. You have to listen to that music all through the journey,
And you want to, relaxed in a cool environment,
Yeah,
no
but
much noise and all that.
it's what it is. It's the Nigerian league. I wasn't used to it, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
When you played, what was the salary like? What was your earning, bonuses and all that? Can you tell us about that?
I'm not sure if I can remember exactly how much the salary was, but I knew sometimes it would come, sometimes it wouldn't come. And then what we were always looking forward to was the away match feeding money. So before the bus takes off, they give us, I think it was about 30,000, either 30,000 or 25,000, like close to that. So
for every away match you go to?
For every away match. So now this is what keeps the team. So everybody wants to go to an away match to earn this money. Because I think the only thing we buy is, when we get to the road, we buy yam and plantain, because it stays more in your stomach. And that takes you almost all through the journey. So you can save the remaining money for yourself.
So that was it like, yam and, you said yam and what?
Fried yam and plantain.
Okay, so you eat that way before the game, before kickoff?
On the
day
trip.
The trip?
Yeah, okay. The trip, because we travel. Sometimes we have to arrive, like they make it so we leave so late, so we can arrive like 2, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., so we can only pay for hotel for one day. So the management, they try to, instead of paying for 2 days hotel, so we arrive today, sleep, and then tomorrow is the match, so you have to pay for tomorrow again because you leave maybe in the evening. No, they will make sure, they will time it that we arrive the next day. So you're paying for just one hotel, one night hotel for the players, and then they keep the rest of the money. So so you travel and you always arrive in the midnight.
I mean, this is an interesting revelation from you. I mean, I don't think I've heard the story anywhere, but it's good to hear it from you. But it's good to see that the league has improved in terms of salary and all that, because there are players now earning way above 600k, 700k in the Nigerian league right now. But I mean, what can you say about the league? What are the improvements you want to see, in the Nigerian league moving forward?
Yeah, I think even hearing from the players, and they've said, the issue of referees. But when I was playing, we weren't going away matches to win games because we knew it was a loss.
Mm. So you already knew in your head that if you're going to
We
lose this game.
knew if you're going
Mm.
there, you're going to lose, except you're going to maybe a smaller team that doesn't have the money to bribe referees,
Yeah.
basically. But now I've seen referees being punished, and things have changed. Like last season, for example, insurance were going to win away matches, other clubs were winning home and away. You could lose your home match if you don't play well. This is how it should be. This is how competitive, the league should be. Also, I've seen that they try to resume the same period as other leagues.
Yeah.
Summer, you go on holiday at the same time. I think this is really, really encouraging.
All right. I mean, I asked Igalo this same question, and I'm going to put it to you as well. The NPFL, the Nigerian, is going to be called the NPL next season, the Nigerian Premier League. Is this something you would like to come play before you hang up your boots and all that?
I don't think my wife will allow me, but
Why wouldn't she allow you?
no, I don't. Coming back, no, I don't know. I've not thought about it. I've not thought about it. I want to, when I finish, I want to have my academy. I have to focus on grooming talents, for the Nigerian league, and also to go to Europe, and definitely I want to have a club that will compete in the Premier League.
All right, interesting. I mean, this is quite a contrasting answer from the one Igalo gave to me. Igalo wanted to play, but I mean, it's good to see you. At least you still be in the football space, having an academy and all that. Let's go back to your time at Ado Den Haag. There was a game, you scored, you did an own goal,
Venlo.
and you got a red card.
Yes.
I think you're the only player in the Dutch league to have ever done that. What's it like? What's in your head during that moment?
When I was in Holland, I wasn't a player that calms down
Hmm.
because I was playing in right back, and I had a coach that would hype me. He wanted me to kill anyone that comes to that space, and
Yeah.
I liked that. Like, he put so much confidence in me, and I was like going, you will not pass. I was that kind of player that I want to score, I want to defend every ball, So I scored a goal, and then there was a free kick against us. So they played that free kick, in swing. So I lifted. Normally I should leave it
Mm.
because it wasn't really, I wasn't going to head it properly, like to a certain direction. So I just put my head just to touch it, and then flicked into
Into
the
your own
goal,
net, yeah.
into my net. So, and then with scoring that own goal, I wasn't myself. I didn't come. If it was now, of course, I'm more
Yeah.
experienced to calm down and just play normal. But then I wanted to kill everyone. I wanted to score, and I was already on a yellow card. So I did a tackle, and it was the second yellow card. So it was red card for
And
me.
your coach, who was giving you what was it like? What did he say to you in the dressing room when you got that
No,
red card?
nothing. He just stabbed me and said, it happens. I should forget it. But it was interesting. And that game, I think it was against Obin and Sofo. No, not Nwofo.
Yeah, for
Nwofo.
Venlo, yeah.
Yeah, he was still there. Ahmed left already to Russia. Yeah.
All right, interesting, interesting. Now let's take it to 2018, where you went to Spain, Leganes. I mean, you went there on loan before they acquired you on a permanent basis. In Spain, what was it like? What did you see? What did you experience in Spain that made you like, okay, this is where I want to settle down after several loan spells?
Yes.
What was the turning point for you in Spain that, okay, I want to settle down at Leganes. I want to have more playing time. So what was the turning point for you in Spain?
For me was La Liga.
Mm.
You know, one of the greatest leagues, if not the first, the second in the world. I had an amazing first year playing against, Barcelona, Real Madrid. For me, it was like, this is where I want to be, because I'm good with the ball, and I see a lot of technical players, skillful players,
Yeah.
and I had an amazing coach as well. So first year was amazing. It was easy. We stayed in the league easily. So I felt, what, I think I had three clubs who wanted me: Valladolid, Celta Vigo, and Leganés. But Leganés was in Madrid, a
Yeah.
better city, the capital of Spain. So it was an amazing city, and it was easy for me to choose Leganés. And when they offered me a new contract, I was happy. It was easy to sign because I felt welcome. I was welcomed, great league, and then Chelsea also had to cut out loan players
Yeah.
because there was this new rule that came on that there was a limited players they could send on loan, so they had to sell a lot of players. And then having that good season in there, and the coach wanted me to sign, so for me it was easy to make the decision to stay.
So it was more the city, the league, being the fact that it was La Liga and all that. That was the turning point for you. So how was it like, with your family in Spain, settling down and all that?
It was
What's the settling down
it,
like,
it
the
was
transition?
it's a country that speaks Spanish, you know, but it was easy to settle down. Now I can speak Spanish, I understand everything, but back then it wasn't really, I think my wife had it more difficult because when she goes out to buy something,
Yeah.
some people, when they don't understand you, they become aggressive. They don't want to say. They don't even
Yeah.
give you
Tension.
the chance. You understand? It's like, you speak English? No, no, no English. But now she understands a lot of words. Our kid speaks fluently in Spanish, so now it's better. I think they adapted very well now. But then we just saw it. Good city, you know, La Liga, let's play. Signed 5 years. Unfortunately, first year into the contract, we
Yeah.
got relegated.
So and ever since you've been in this, segunda division in Spain as well, and you captain the side at some point. Also, you captain the Super Eagles. Tell us about your qualities, your leadership qualities. In terms of leading your club, leading the national team. Because I mean, you're one of the, should I say, criticized players whenever any list is being mentioned. I don't know if you know that people don't want to see that you're blocking the space for the younger generations and
Yeah.
all that. Tell us about your leadership qualities, what you bring to the team. Not just you for the Super Eagles. There's Ahmed Musa as well, who's also,
Yeah.
experienced and all that. So what's your take on all, this
So one
situation
thing
and
I
all that?
always say is, when you look at people criticizing players, most of them don't even watch football. Like if you ask them, when last did you watch Kenneth Omeruo play in La Liga or in his club side? So ask yourself, what am I doing that makes me the captain of a Spanish team, and I'm not that fluent in Spanish?
Mm.
You understand? It's not just about coming out on match day or when Nigeria is playing to watch the match. Getting chosen to play, to start a game starts from training. So it starts from your training session every day. It takes to the gym workout, your behavior as well. So everything is being monitored.
Yeah.
So every club I've gone on loan I've played. I've not gone to a loan spell anywhere and I didn't play regularly every week, except I'm injured. And I always say, for example, you wouldn't see my brother or another player's brother criticizing people, players.
Yeah.
So if these guys are criticized, if their relative is there, they will not come out to criticize anyone. They will pray for the team to do well. I think that's what we need. Instead of coming out to say, why is Ahmed Musa in the team? Why is Kenneth Omeruo in the team? Like, think and check. Come to the training and watch how much effort these players put in the training sessions. and then and I don't think you've been in our training
Yeah.
sessions. You've seen how we train. You've seen our commitment in the team as well. So these are things that counts. You know, after the last game, the coach wrote me, about thank you for your professionalism. Stuff like this. When the young players come into the team and they see Kenneth Omeruo, Ahmed Musa running, tackling, doing, they want to do more. This helps the team to grow. So you must have those players who push the team to do better in the team. Otherwise, it will just be a bunch of inexperienced players.
And tell us about the squad. How is it like bedding in young players? How do you, handle these players in the camp, in training? I mean, this past squad there were 4 NPFL players in the squad. So these new players, how do you, bring them together to bed in with the old ones, with the experienced ones in the squad?
I think now it's good that we're seeing NPFL players coming into the team.
Yeah.
And I think when they come first, and they're also, it doesn't matter if you're, let's say you're the talkative in your NPFL team.
Yeah.
If you come to the national
And
team, you
back,
will have to humble yourself, watch what's going on, and I think the boys are always good with the new ones coming in. We interact with them fine, they do the rituals. Normally you have to sing or dance or do something.
Yeah.
And then it's all fun, so no one is, we're all equal when it comes to the national team.
And talking about your rituals, do you have any particular, match day ritual or routine you do every match? What's your routine like every match day? Waking up in the morning, what can you walk us through your
Yeah,
process?
obviously pray when I wake up.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I do is always pray and ask God for guidance, to be the best. So I always ask God, I want to be the best, not just for myself. I want to see it at the end of the match. Kenneth Omeruo is the best rated player in this game. I always ask for this. Help me not to make mistakes that will cost us goals. So these are prayers I make before, and especially injury-free. Help the team to win, help us not to lose this game, help us to qualify. I think before the game and after the game as well.
You're 29. Is there any age in your head that you have that you would say, okay, this is it. I'm done with football. What's the target age for you?
For me, right now I don't have a target age. I want to play in the Champions League. That's what I've said, and it will happen. If it doesn't happen, we're going to play the football until we play the Champions League. So Champions League is something I want to experience, and I know it seems far because we're in the 2nd division now, but it's something I strongly believe I will achieve before I end my career.
All right, thank you, Ken. I mean, it's great to always believe. We've seen stories of players who, get their dream at some certain age, and I hope you get to achieve that before the end of your career. Thank you so much for having this session with me.
Thank you
and all the
very
best.
much. Thank you. Thank you.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.